Oops. My no pod option leads to the camera now being balanced on that metal box that holds my remaining dwindling supply of Galoise's blouse. This is L&M blouse. Can't buy cigarettes without filters in this world. Oh, whoopsie. In this case, I'll just break off the filter, as I do with Galois Blau. It's a big filter. Knock out the loose tabac. Anyway, it isn't low battery yet. Really, I appreciate my offline charger for these batteries. A little sugarless orange soda with tiny remnants of ice cubes. I like cold liquids. Anyway, contemplating, what's really criminal. Like fraud, theft, initiating violence, and maybe escalating violence. That's about it. I think, in a very broad brush way. In any case, kind of libertarian doctrine or something like that. Anyway. And I mention them in that order, in a sense, because they are, as you go down the list, as it were, from fraud, theft, initiating violence, these characteristics, fraud, are more human than chimpanzee. Basically because we can talk, and we can network, and we do network. Evil deeds or evil ways, fraud. Not doing what you said you'd do, basically, or not being who you say you are, or something. Lying. Politicians know about this. As Ronald Reagan apparently said. How can you tell if a politician is lying? His lips are moving. Anyway. It's just waxing philosophical or something like that. Having reawakened video-ness by filming my egg chopping routine. My great discovery and contribution to the culinary art. Anyway, I do have low battery. I don't know. I can just leave it running. But in a way, that video, that set of 5 it takes, playlist, egg salad, is a baby's first step size intentional contribution to society. You know, a philosopher speaks philosophy, and it's actually, if it's any good, it's a contribution to the realm. And I've enjoyed a number of cooking videos. Some young man or old man, whatever, basically a woman, whatever. So I guess I just made a series of them. I don't really have an editor for this format, I think. And I'm not very inclined towards editing anyway. This is more like stream of consciousness. And is often separated by an act of God, as reflected in, it feels a little nicer to see myself a little straighter. The camera's really tilted. This is straight up and down. Sort of. Anyway. I do have a low battery symbol for quite a while now, and we're at 7 minutes. Well, I think I would stop by 10 in any case, but I have a bug up my ass about prohibition, like any person arrogating to itself the position that I have a right to tell you what you can't do. And the only outcome is in some sense, poverty. People can't have, or find it difficult to have, or whatever, something that they would like to have. And organized crime. Certainly crime, first of all. Bang. You've got it. Crime. The more crime, the more police. The more police, the more power politicians have. I mean, after all, we are chimps. There's a certain hereditary, powerful push towards being the top chimp. The top chimp locally, the top chimp regionally, the top chimp nationally, the top chimp earthly, solar systemly, galaxily. Anyway. So there is a hierarchy, there is a pyramid. I think that as we are so networked, the top, you could say, of the pyramid is not a single person, not a single individual. But involves some cooperation, I guess. makes mistakes like any organization. You can substitute one word for the other. There, I've just switched. The camera support is now an empty Galois's box. Outdoors, that is to say away from my ashtray, the filter I break off goes back in the box to take part in the daily count of how much did I smoke today. Wow, burp. It's the sugar-free soda. I feel a little crazy drinking sugar-free shit. And but I must. If I'm going to drink anything flavored, it's going to be sugar-free. Pretty much. Let's say 90%. I have a new chair. It's lovely. It's ergonomic. That basically means that it has a bump low on the back that presses more or less just where it ought to for keeping the spine gently curved. €120, and I had to put it together myself out of a few parts. The nastiest aspect of that job was attaching the back, because of the way it kind of has to be folded down, and then the bump in the back has to be pressed a little, and you need about 6 hands to do all this while you try to manage a screw and a screwdriver, which they just give you an L-shape hex driver. Not bad, but not nearly as convenient as my ratchetable hex driver multi-tool. Just put in whatever tip you want and you've got an X driver. Anyway, 13 minutes. Okay, namaste.